Hey, it's Mrs. Golding, and I am back with this problem, which is in your math packet on page 15, and it is problem number 1. Now, we had to create a box and whisker plot based on the 5-number summary of data of lengths of movies. So this girl, Lorna, wants to know the typical length of a movie. Okay, so we were kind of coming up with some possible questions that we could ask. Let's come up with another one. What percent of movies are longer than 120 minutes? So here's 120 minutes. There's only one quartile above that, so that's only 25% of movies that she has collected data on. 25% of them are longer than 120 minutes, right? That's 2 hours. So the interquartile range. So that's a question that we could ask. So that would be from quartile 1 here to quartile 3, lower quartile to upper quartile. So that's 120 minus 90. What do you get? 120 minus 90, 0, 30, right? 30. So the IQR, the interquartile range, is 30. Okay. So those are some questions that we could ask. We could go on and on with questions like that. Okay, so part C says sketch a dot plot that could represent this data set. This is where this problem goes from, okay, depth of knowledge. You can make a box and whisker plot. Now it's going to go, vroom, it's going to get depth of knowledge, I'd say level 3, which is what they say when they're talking about our standardized testing. So bam. If this is hard for you, that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, so don't worry about it. All right, so I've got my number line, and we're going to do a dot plot based on this. Okay, so I worked on this ahead of time, and again, it's not something that just comes easy. So I'm going to put the numbers on that we know. We know that there is a piece of data, one movie at least, right, that is 75 minutes long. We know there's one that's 135. We know that there is one that is 90 right here. Okay, this is my dot. This is my dot plot. 110, we know there's one there. So far, this is kind of like how we did the box and whisker, right? So I've started with those. I'm going to change colors for everything else, just so you can see. Those are important pieces. Now, I'm going to start putting other information, but I have to maintain these as benchmarks, as important pieces, so I can maintain this median, maintain this maximum, this minimum. So in other words, I can't all of a sudden put a point way up here, right? Because that wouldn't work for what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, erase. Okay, so I'm going to put some points, and I want you to see how I'm doing this. I'm going to put 2 of them at 80. Okay. And there's not just one way to do this. Okay. This is just one example. I'm going to put 2 movies that were 85 minutes long. I'm going to put 1 movie that's 95 minutes long. I'm going to put 2 that were 100 minutes long, right? I'm going to put 2 that are 105 minutes long. I'm going to put 4 that are 115. 1, 2, 3, 4. That seems like a good number to me. I'm going to say 120 had another movie that was 120. Seems like a lot of movies are like that. 125, I'm going to put 2. Okay. And then 130, I'm going to put 1 here. And 135, I'm going to put 1 more. Okay. Now, you might be like, this is so random, Mrs. Golding. How are you deciding this, right? So I want to explain in my next video how I determined how many dots and where they went. Okay, stay tuned.